From Fox 32 Chicago Sports, this is Chicago Sports Tonight.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chicago Sports Tonight. Lou Canellis with you. Tina Nguyen's in the house. The Score's Mark Grote is here as well. And Herb Howard, Bears beat reporter for the Bigs in the house. Good to see you. It's been a while.
It's good to see you, too. I was going to change and put on my pajamas for you, but I didn't have time.
I love what the man is wearing. All right, Steelers did not have Aaron Rodgers. But, hey, the Bears were without their starting left tackle, two best cornerbacks, three starting linebackers, then lost Tyreek Stevenson and Ruben Hippolyte, and they still held off the first-place Steelers. How about that?
There you go, the first-place Steelers, right? Maybe that will quiet some people, right? You went into this game, did not have an entire level of your defense, and then you lost two more bodies. Credit Dennis Allen, the adjustment he's had to make, but the offense today, that was humming, and look, they found a way to win it against a team, right, that has a winning record.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I mean, with all those, are we up to 7 starters out on the Bears defense? And yet, it wasn't always pretty, but plays were made. Montez Sweat was just all over the place today, and his second sack undid the penalty by Nick McLeod. Jaquan Brisker with the deflection at the end of the game. Kevin Byard with a 4th and 1 stop early on in the game. Just playmaking makes a difference, and that's what this defense has done all year, quite frankly.
Hey, Big Herb, I'm wearing my money socks, buddy.
Money.
I had some of the viewers say, hey, are you going to wear your money socks? The Bears wear money. Is this finally going to shut up the naysayers?
No, I think it has to. I think this was definitely the most impressive win that the Bears have had so far. You talk about how many people that they were down, and they continue to be resilient. You hear that coach speak all the time, and they're like, it takes everybody on the roster, every active person. This week, it actually did take every single person on the roster. It was a complete 3-phase football game. They fought hard. You talk about a Pittsburgh Steelers team that always fights hard. They're gritty. They always find ways to win those types of games. Not this time. The Bears did not allow it. They played well in all 3 phases, did what they needed to do, and got themselves, in my opinion, the most impressive victory of the season.
All right, you guys talked about Grady Jarrett coming through, Jaquan Brisker coming through, batting down the pass there at the end, Montez Sweat with a couple of sacks. Can we give some love to Ben Johnson and the coaching staff he has put together? Dennis Allen, Richard Smith, 70 years old, working with the linebackers, Al Harris, the defensive backs. I mean, this coaching staff put this team in position to win.
They adjust really well. That's what, offensively and defensively. The Bears had to make adjustments at halftime in this game, and they obviously did on both sides of the ball. But this is what they've been doing all season long. Dennis Allen, there's so many things that Dennis Allen is dying to do with a defense, with a healthy deck of players. We know that Herb and I, and Tina, we're out there. You too, Lou. We're all out there, and you could just feel it from Dennis Allen. But, he takes what he has, and he gets creative. That's one of his best sides, his creativity. And then just really quickly, offensively, we're talking about adjustments that are made in the season, the adjustments on the offensive line that they've made, the adjustments to the running game that we've made, that we've seen come up every once in a while.
Coach Johnson talks all the time about doing what you have to do. There's this idea of what you want to do, but then what are you able to do on a week-to-week basis? And sometimes that changes from week to week. Offensively, that may be running it 40 times. It may be throwing it 40 times. Defensively, you may want to call, more man-to-man coverage, but maybe the health of the situation or the other team requires you to play more zone, bring more pressures, bring less pressures, whatever is required to get the W. That's what the Bears have done all year long. And they did it again against another first-place team. The Giants could have did us a favor and got us up 2 games, but we ain't going to talk about it.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. You know what? We've been talking about the players believing. I think the coaches are starting to believe in the players now.
Oh, absolutely. There's trust, right? I think more and more trust on both sides. And you talk about the coaching staff. Not only have they done a good job, right, with the adjustments, Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, but they're also doing a good job at keeping these guys prepared, right? DeMarco Jackson today, 15 tackles. Amen Ogbongbemiga, 14 tackles here. You've had guys that really stepped up when this defense really needed them to.
All right, here was head coach Ben Johnson after the game.
Really proud of the guys. Thought they did a phenomenal job just responding. I knew we were decimated in certain areas, and yet it's easy the easy thing is to say, woe is me, and our guys didn't do that. They just stepped up and kept battling through. Can't say enough good things about the linebackers that stepped up in that game. D-Jack was our starting Mike, and he called that game. He was the green dot. And I thought he did a great job.
It wasn't no jealousy or anything like that. It was just like everyone just wanted to get that win, that 1-0 feeling. And just to be out there and end the game on defense and like just feel that support and love from everybody, from the coaches to the players to the support staff and everybody. It was special.
What I also thought was special was Dennis Allen's play calling there at the end, sending Brisker twice, having enough confidence in his guys on the back end, Nick McLeod on the back end, that he wouldn't have to worry that he was sending a safety in. But I want to ask you guys, what the heck has happened to Montez Sweat since the bye week? This is the guy that they paid big time for. He has been getting to the quarterback, putting pressure on.
Yeah.
I think he just took some time to kind of get used to the system and what Dennis Allen was asking him to do. Dennis Allen uses his defensive ends in a different way than a lot of defensive coordinators do. I think it took a little bit of time for Montez to get used to what the system is, but also get used to playing all four as one. When you talk about rushing the passer, they've certainly begun to do that, and he has been dominating ever since.
Nearly had 3 sacks today, right? The strip sack that led to the Kyle Monungai touchdown. He's got 7.5 sacks on the season right now. And by the way, he's got 6 more games to add to that number, too.
I talked to Montez Sweat when he was struggling, when things were going badly. And he said 2 things to me. He said, the media is not helping because we were all putting all this pressure on Montez Sweat. And he also told me, he said, look, this is a new defensive coordinator. There's different players on this line. We're all trying to get this right. And he was kind of saying to me, without saying it, give it a couple weeks, and here we are. And he's been terrific.
Mark, I remember you talking on the radio about that conversation you had with Sweat, but I think you also mentioned, don't forget this, that no one worked harder this offseason than Montez Sweat. Typically doesn't come in for OTAs, isn't there for the offseason program. He was there this year.
And he had a really good camp. You saw him flashing all over training camp. You expected him to get out of the gate much faster than he did. Didn't work out that way. But now that when it matters most, he's showing up. Not only the sacks, but what he's doing in the run game is phenomenal as well. I thought if one of his best plays, if not his best play, was when they tried to get Gainwell out to the left side of the defense, and he took on the tackle and then still got out to the side. Like, he's playing at a really, really high level.
Well, and then and I kind of mentioned it earlier, that Nick McLeod has a 27-yard pass interference call, and it's looking bleak right there. Obviously, every score is mattering in these tight games, and that's where Montez Sweat gets the sack. That's completely nullified. They score nothing. So the effect, the Tez effect, it's back. Remember the Tez effect? Yeah. We didn't have that all of last year. And I'll tell you
it is alive and well right now.
It's alive and well, my friends. That is right.
7.5 sacks, 2 today. And how about Nashawn Wright?
Oh.
I mean, what an incredible story.
Show the money socks again, because
this guy, Nashawn Wright, you have been money, baby.
Right now.
I'll tell you what, this guy had 1 interception in 3 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. He's got 5 in 10 games, Tina.
Yeah, that's incredible. Back-to-back games with an interception, and I talked to him in the locker room just a few months ago, and he was saying how much Al Harris has really helped him and just kind of revitalize his career. That was someone he worked with in Dallas as a rookie, and to be with him here in Chicago, I mean, you're seeing the impact player that he is.
He and Byard were hilarious, or Byard was hilarious in the end zone today, because they got a little contest that they've had going on as far as the interceptions. Each has 5 right now, so Byard wasn't happy. But the degree of difficulty on the Nashawn Wright interception today, going square up with Metcalf, love that. Like 2 big
Tony
bodies.
Toe tap there too.
Oh, I did not think. Did you think that was in bounds? I did not think that was in bounds. I thought they were going to call it off, but he got 2 toes.
He's got such long arms and such long legs. I thought he got it in, and he did get it in. Listen, Ryan Poles is going to have a decision to make on whether or not he wants to figure out how to bring him back or let him go. And you got Tyreek, and obviously you got Jalen. Either way, shout out to Nashawn Wright, because he came out of relative obscurity and he's made himself some money for him and his family.
You know, DA likes linked with those guys, right? And
True.
you know, he's not 6'7", but he's 6'4". So he's got some link to them. So
as we wrap up this segment, I want to look ahead to Philadelphia, because I want to talk about the defensive secondary. You've got Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, both practicing right now. Johnson in full, Gordon still limited, and the Eagles 5 days away. Would you play Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon in Philadelphia, or would you wait another week and bring them back for the Packers? Tina?
personally, I mean, if I'm Jalen Johnson and I'm Kyler Gordon, man, I want to be out there with these guys right now, with this group of guys. There's a reason why Jalen Johnson traveled, right? Why he was hugging media members and everything. I want to get in on that,
He's anxious. He's hungry. He wants to be there.
I want to see them out there.
Got to be 100% though. Like, I know that it's playoff time and it's on here with the Bears, but because look, Kyler Gordon, he's been injury riddled lot of his career. You got to be really careful with him. And Jalen Johnson's already had the start and stop to the season. So, man, of course I want them to play. My gut right now is the Green Bay game.
A little birdie tapped me on the shoulder and told me that both of those guys are going to play in Philly.
Really? Really?
I trust your birdie. I'm going to end it at that.
Hell yeah!
It takes a village, and I'm talking about players, I'm talking about coaches, I'm talking about training staff, I'm talking about everybody in this building. It would have been so easy to walk. Man, how are we going to win this game? We got no linebacker. This guy stepped up. He wore the green dot. He had us going all game long. DJ, come on, baby. Since the bye week, it's just each week, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. It's going up. Give me a little Montez Sweat. Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Good gets better. Good gets better. And he better gets better. He better gets better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Our Bears discussion brought to you in high definition by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee, one consistent internet price for the next 5 years, guaranteed. Lou Canellis, Herb Howard from the Bigs, Tina Nguyen, and 670 The Score's Mark Grote in the house. Caleb Williams has done a really good job of protecting the football, but allowing that T.J. Watt strip sack in the end zone for a Steelers touchdown early in the game. That was as much a bad play by Williams as I have seen all season long. And can we also give some credit to T.J. Watt? That was a hell of a play by Watt, Mark.
No doubt. I mean, and Darnell Wright was fighting on that play too, but you give that guy enough time and T.J. Watt will get to the quarterback. And yeah, that was not a good moment for Caleb Williams. He just didn't look. He looked like when things go poorly in a moment for Caleb Williams, all I feel is conflict in his head, and I feel like he's worked a lot of that out in terms of when to get out of the pocket, when to throw it downfield, when to throw it away, when to make the special play. I think that that's what happened to Caleb in that spot, conflicted.
There were a lot of momentum shifts in this game, I believe, 4 lead changes, and you talk about the T.J. Watt strip sack for a touchdown there. You know, when it rains, it pours. And for a moment, I thought of that. I'm like, what is this going to look like? But Caleb Williams, he's managing the game better. He didn't let it get to him. It didn't affect the following series there. And I think today he showed once again poise and composure.
Herb, I think Tina's right. I mean, I get it. He had the bad play there. He still had 3 touchdown passes, and for the most part, I thought he looked pretty good.
I think that's one of his best qualities, his ability to flush negative plays or negative things that happen in the game and move on. Even if they're on his own fault. It was a terrible play. He had DJ right in the middle for him. He could have checked it down to the running back in the flat as well. Held on to it, tried to make one of those plays. He has to get better at situational awareness. Those Superman plays that we all enjoy so much, there's a time and place to try to do those things. In the end zone is not that time nor that place, especially with T.J. Watt on the other side. But to his credit, he flushed it. He continued to go on and play a good game, like Tina said. It's one of his best qualities.
I'm going to stay with you, Herb, right now because I liked the offensive game plan put together by Ben Johnson. Called 21 runs. Caleb threw the football 35 times. In the press conference, Ben Johnson shared with the media that Jeff Joniak told him at one point he called 18 straight pass plays. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You got to be able to get the ball out your hands quickly, though, right? If you're going to call those pass plays, have quick answers for what the defense likes to do. The Pittsburgh Steelers likes to bring exotic pressures. They have a phenomenal front. They got to deal with 2, 3 different guys who can get to the quarterback on any given pass play. But I thought the passes that they called were really good designs. They were able to get some guys open quickly, get some slant routes. We saw Coast and leveling down on the end zone. Get the ball out of your hands quickly. Don't give opportunities for that pass rush to get there. We know how good they can be. You got to give a shout out to the offensive line. Darnell Wright was one-on-one a lot of the times. They held up in the passing game. They got the ball out of Caleb's hands quickly, and it produced for him.
How about Ozzie Trapillo filling in for Theo Benedict out there?
About that.
And then Luke Newman as well in for Jonah Jackson. I think when you look at this offense as a whole, there are playmakers on this offense. And I know Ben Johnson talked about, right, there's a lot of mouths to feed on this offense. But if you think about where this team was a year ago, right, Shane Waldron got fired, right? Well, Matt Eberflus, but just a year, it's a night and day difference, man. They're second in rushing. This is a really good offense.
Well, and it's going to be interesting, you know, going forward too. I don't think Zappillo all of a sudden has taken a job at left tackle. But the fact that he comported himself so well out there after it really felt bad for him in training camp and covering that, and the left tackle competition that he was quickly out of it. And obviously it was Braxton Jones and then Theo Bennett out of nowhere. But what you're starting to have is good depth on that offensive line. Like, that's the beautiful part too on the right side. Like, you've got a couple of swing tackles now all of a sudden with Braxton Jones and Trapillo.
All right, these Bears have now won 8 of 9 games. They hold a pair of 4-game win streaks. And these guys, they're not taking winning for granted.
You don't ever get used to winning. It's one of the best feelings in the world, and so you don't get used to it. I think y'all just kind of came in a little late. Everybody was dancing and having fun, going around shaking hands, celebrating and congratulating each other, and showing appreciation to each other, because it takes all of us, and that's something that we said in the locker room. It takes a village.
Culture, you know what I mean? We've been faced with a lot of adversity all year, whether if it's injuries, close games, just a lot of different scenarios, and I think we're able just to fight through that.
We're on a 3-game winning streak. We're sitting at 8-3. I've never been 8-3 here, and so it's amazing. And we're not done yet. And to be honest, we haven't even played a complete game, offense, defense, and special teams. So
we're creating a history of competing in these close games, and we feel pretty comfortable in it. We know when we're down or it's a close game, we're still in a fight, and I feel that coming from all phases, and so we just all fighting. The history here hasn't necessarily been that. Ben preaches us fighting in those close games, and it's just not the same old Bears.
Everyone's talking about the history with this Bears team. Obviously, they haven't been through a stretch like this since 2018 when Matt Nagy in his first season took them to the playoffs. You guys are at Hallis Hall every day that the players are available to the media. Tina, you're there on Friday. Can you give the audience an idea, a feel of how it's different at Hallis Hall today than it has been the last 6 years?
I just think that the winning is contagious, and it builds confidence over the course of time. And you got guys believing that they're going to win as they go into games, as opposed to waiting for something to go wrong. And it helps them when things do go wrong in the game. They still have this belief, we're going to find a way to pull it out. Whereas in past years, you've seen something goes wrong in the game, they cannot find a way to pull themselves out of that kind of lull and get back to a winning style of play. But now you see it. They're having a lot of fun in the locker room. Guys are shooting basketball all the time. They're joking with each other. They're playing around. And so I think what they're doing right now in terms of the wins, not only is it contagious in terms of the belief, but the confidence they have going into those games. They think they're going to win. And right now, why wouldn't they?
I loved what Jaquan Brisker said right there. He's like, look, we're 8-3. We have not played our best football yet. And that's been like, that's what I love about this team is they understand it. Like 2 weeks ago when we were trying to figure out, we're like, this team is good, but they're winning, but are they actually good? And they understand why those questions are being asked along the way. And I can't even describe how different it is when the line of questioning is different in the locker room. Herb, you know that. Like, this was not this was a close locker room last year, I thought, but they had to be to kind of bond together over what we all went through with the way that team was run last year. So to have had the tenor of the questions change, it's completely different in there, to the point where Javon Dexter made me try to take a basket in the locker room. Okay, that did happen. I did make the shot with my left hand.
Nice work.
You gotta tell people too that you did make the shot.
I did. Did you see me? Were you there when I made that shot? Herb might have been. I don't think that was a Friday. You might. Herb, did you see? Maybe you saw that.
Sure.
Whatever you say. Did a little birdie tell you that too?
Hey, let me wrap up the last minute. Can we give some credit to Ryan Poles and his scouting department for the backups that they have put on that roster that came through today? What do you think, Tina?
Yeah, and I think for one thing, you look at the rookies right on this Bears team right now. You got a rookie running back over, I believe, 300 rushing yards. You got a rookie tight end as well, over 300 receiving yards. And then Luther Burden, man, I mean, he's earning more and more trust with Ben Johnson. The rookies have been impressive, and credit to Ryan Poles.
Well, scouting and then the development as well, like you shouted out the coaches earlier.
DeMarco Jackson, amen. Ugbog Mamiga, just great stepping in their roles. And as you heard playing the tape, they were kind of emotional, Jackson especially, in the locker room.
Welcome back to CST. Luke and Ellis with you. Our scores around the league are brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Herb Howard, Tina Nguyen, Mark Grote in the house. Let's look at Week 12 of the rest of the NFC North. Packers handled the Vikings at Lambeau Josh Jacobs was out. Emmanuel Wilson stepped in, had himself a day, 107 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. J.J. McCarthy was brutal, threw just 87 passing yards and 2 interceptions. In Detroit, it took overtime, but the Lions knocked off Jameis Winston and the Giants. Jahmyr Gibbs with the go-ahead touchdown in overtime, and then the Lions defense with a 4th down sack to end it. So, here are the standings. The NFC North, the Bears at the top of the standings, followed by the Packers, Lions, and Vikings. In my opinion, Minnesota is done for the year. Herb, do you agree?
Yeah, they're absolutely finished. You look at their record right now, 4-7. I don't think any of the top 3 teams are going to come back to them. And then you look at the caliber of football that J.J. McCarthy is playing right now. I don't see how they get themselves back into the picture.
Yeah, they're done. I mean, J.J. McCarthy today, the 2 interceptions. He was also sacked, by the way, 5 times. It has not been good for McCarthy this season.
Just 6 career games now for J.J. McCarthy as a starter. Are we passing judgment on him too quickly?
No, I'm not saying he's going to fail as a quarterback, but in the moment, I don't think it's been excessive. We saw him last week. We saw how inaccurate he was. Like, it wasn't like fluky bad. It was bad. And I know he had some help from receiver drops, at least last week. I obviously didn't watch this game here close enough, but like he's way off. Right? He's in a bad slump at the very least.
Green Bay's defense did a number on the Vikings. It wasn't just McCarthy who was held to 87 yards passing. They couldn't run the football either. I think they had 93 rushing yards. Packers defense, pretty darn good. No matter how bad they have played in a few games, typically it's been because of their offense. That Green Bay defense, still one of the best in football, right?
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I think one thing for me that I've said consistently about Green Bay, right, they're consistently inconsistent, especially offensively. But, I mean, you look at their defense, Micah Parsons today, I believe, 4 sacks. They got some talent on their defense.
All right.
At their best, I think they're as good as anybody.
Yeah, for sure. Lions, boy, they had to come back at home against the Giants in overtime. Jared Goff does not look like the same quarterback he looked like at the beginning of the season when he was playing MVP-type football.
And that's one of the reasons why the fear factor of these teams in the North does not exist with me as much as it did at the beginning. Because I said flat out, no doubt about it, the Lions are the runaway best team in the division. Then when the Packers did what they did and got Micah Parsons and started the season, as you were talking about, the way they did, looking dominant, and then all of a sudden they fall off the table, and now they look dominant again on defense today. So it's really hard to get in the heads of these teams in the NFC North right now, including the Bears, up until maybe today.
I'll tell you what, Mark, Lions still have the Rams, Steelers, Packers, and Bears on their schedule. It's not a walk in the park for Detroit the rest of the season.
It's not. No, I mean, this is a team that won 14 games last year? Was that the mark for the Lions last year? So, yeah, they have lost, and this is the time to start to say it, the Bears need to take advantage of this year right now, because all those, you can't depend on Detroit to have sort of the lull that they've had this year, or to get that fear factor back.
Did anyone here think the Bears would be in position to win not only a wild card spot, but the top seed in the NFC North?
Everything they want is right in
there.
front of them. Everything they want is
Philadelphia
right in front of
lost.
them. They control their destiny. They can go to Philly and get a dub. They got the Packers twice still. Detroit comes here. Everything the Bears want is right in front of them. They control their own destiny. It's a good spot to be in.
And Herb Howard's birdie said that Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon are playing in Philly.
Is this birdie in a cage? Can we meet this birdie at some point?
You met the birdie.
Let's meet the bird.
Welcome back to Chicago Sports Tonight. College football playoff. You are my college football expert.
Hey,
having been at Texas A&M.
Gig 'em. 11-0, baby.
Is it Ohio State's to lose right now, the national championship?
You know, throughout this football season, college football season, I've been thinking to myself, who's going to beat Ohio State? Like truly who? Maybe the Aggies, maybe.
How about Michigan on Saturday? The game right here on Fox 32 Chicago.
That is going to be, I would say Michigan would be the team to beat Ohio State, but
not going to happen.
What about my Irish? They started off the season 0-2. They've won 9 in a row.
Okay, but let's talk about the schedule. Let's talk about the
Never mind the schedule. Their defense,
70-7 over Syracuse.
What more do you want?
Wow.
You know?
Hey, by
Yeah,
the way,
that was a
I
beating
know
for Syracuse.
if we don't mention Indiana, we're going to hear from Hoosier fans out there. So if Ohio State gets by Michigan on Saturday and it's Indiana and Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, who are you taking?
Listen, Indiana has played well enough to give them a chance versus anybody. You look at it and you think Ohio State's probably got the most complete team, but maybe they don't get by Michigan. I know the rest of the teams in the country will be rooting for the Wolverines. Absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely not. Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think Ohio State will get the job done, but you got to give Indiana a shot in the championship game.
By the way, anyone know where Lane Kiffin's going? Is he staying at Ole Miss, going to Florida or LSU?
Listen, he said he's staying at Ole Miss, which probably means he's leaving.
He's going.
He's got a chance to be a hero at LSU.
He really does.
Like, he really does.
He does.
And I understand that his predecessor had that chance as well, but it's Lane Kiffin. So I like LSU.
All right, I'm going to wrap up the show with this. Bears, Eagles, Black Friday here on Fox 32 Chicago. Who are you taking?
Oh, my goodness, right at this very moment.
Right
I mean,
now.
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time taking the Bears in a short week against the Eagles at Philadelphia. The Bears typically don't fare well there. So I'm sorry. I don't like the Bears in this
Tina?
game.
Oh, my heart. I think the Eagles are going to win. I'm so sorry. I mean, you look at the talent that they have on the defense, man. But then again, this Ben Johnson, the offense, they just got to be able to score points. But I'm going to go Eagles.
Herb Howard, you told us that Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon are coming back. Who do you like?
I think the Eagles' offense has been struggling a little bit. I've had the Eagles in this game the entire time, but I think right now I feel decently about the Bears' opportunity because they have the better offense in terms of how they're playing right now. I know what the Eagles' offense looks like on paper, but how they're playing right now, the Bears' offense seems better. If the defense can get healthy and get back out there on the field, I'm taking the Bears.
All right, I like it. Guys, thanks for coming on out. Great to see you, Herb, Mark, Tina, always a pleasure.
From Fox 32 Chicago Sports, this is Chicago Sports Tonight.